would look at that and think, well, I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't know how to do it. When really, this is just an equation, or it's a formula problem. It's a problem where you're being asked to plug a number into an equation. So they tell you all this stuff. Lucinda bought a used car with 14,000 miles. She expects to drive about 600 miles per month. And then right here, the function f of m equals 14,000 plus 600m. All that is taking all of that information that they've already given you, and they write the equation for you. They're handing you the equation on a silver platter, and now they're saying do something with it. So really, once you've got that, you don't need any of this other information because they've already put the equation together for you. What you do need to know is what the variables stand for. What does m stand for in this problem? Months. Yeah, m is my number of months. So then it says, how many miles should Lucinda expect to have on her car after 2 years? Am I plugging in 2 for m? Right. So 2 years is 24 months. Okay? And then I'm going to plug 24 in place of m. So 2,400, no, sorry, 14,000. 14,000 plus 600 times 24. Okay, and if someone could plug that in, give me a number when you've got it.
28,000.
Thank you. And what is that telling me? 28,400 what? Miles. Yeah, that she'll have on after 2 years. So if she stays true to this 600 miles per month, she should have about that many miles on her car in 2 years. Now the next question says, after how many months will the car be due for a 40,000 mile checkup? So this time it's asking us to find this number. So am I plugging 40,000 in for m this time? No. Where does the 40,000 need to go? Where does this 40,000 need to go if we're not just going to put it in the m spot? Yeah, it's what it equals, right? So I want to say 14,000 plus 600m because I'm trying to find out what my months are. Like this is what I'm trying to find. Okay, how many months is that? And I'm going to set it equal to 40,000. Now what do I do with something like that? Yeah, let's solve it just like an equation, like what we've been doing. So 14,000 minus 14,000. I think I end up with 600m equals 26,000. Let's divide by 600. Okay, go ahead, type that in. This is Mrs. Trignan. Hi. I do. Sure. Cool, they need you in the office. What do we get for that? So m equals... Olivia, can you say that again? Thank you. So what does that mean? Okay, so that means at 43.3 months, she'll be at exactly 40,000. Now, if you were her auto mechanic and trying to estimate for her when she would need to come in for this checkup, would you tell her in approximately 43.3 months? Probably not. Probably just say 43 months, yeah. Or really, that's pretty close to 4 years. So, a little less than 4 years, okay? But I want you to be able to calculate it. I guess that's probably closer to 3.5 years, but. Okay, number 10. I will tell you, there is one like number 10 on your homework tonight. There's one like number 10 on your quiz tomorrow. There's going to be one like number 10 that pops up on your chapter test. This same kind of problem is going to show up a lot. And when you first read it, it sounds impossible. You read it and you're like, I don't have nearly enough information to do this. But it works the same way every time. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to solve it. Please make sure you are writing it down. And then when you go to do your homework tonight, Don't just stare at the problem blankly and think to yourself, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start, because this is going to tell you where to start. Okay? It says a farmer grows 3 crops, wheat, corn, and alfalfa. He farms all of the land that he owns. That's just to make sure you know there's not any land that doesn't have crops on it. 1/3 of his land is planted with wheat, 2/5 is planted with corn, and then there are 60 acres left over planted with alfalfa. We want to know how many acres the farmer owns total. Okay, so I start every word problem the same way. I start by identifying the variable. Do you remember from the first couple of weeks of school when we did that? What would I call the variable? Okay, it's what x is, and I want x to represent what I'm trying to find. So what am I trying to find in this problem? Dylan, you with me? How many acres total? Okay, so I'm going to say, Dylan, you should be writing this down. Okay. X is the total number of acres. Write that down even if you think it's pointless to write down. I'm going to tell you right now, on your quiz, you get a point just for doing that. Okay, if you write down what X represents, because that's going to be important in setting up this problem. So I want to say 1/3 of the land is wheat. So how do I show 1/3 of the land mathematically? One-third of the total land. 1/3 x, yeah. Okay, so that's my part of the land that's planted with wheat. Now I have 2/5 planted with corn. How am I going to represent that? 2/5 x, yeah. And then I have 60 acres that's planted with alfalfa. Does that 60 get an X? No, because it's just 60 acres. What do you think I'm going to do with these 3 things? Add them up, yep, because this is how much land I have total. And so when I add together the amount of land that's planted with wheat, and the amount of land that's planted with corn, and the amount of land that's planted with alfalfa, what should that give me? Think about that. If I add up how much land I have planted with corn, no, sorry, this first one's wheat. Here's how much I plant with wheat, here's how much I plant with corn, here's how much I plant with alfalfa, and I farm all the land I own. What should that equal? The total number of acres, right? The total amount of land. So mathematically, what do I put there? X. Yeah, because X is my total number of acres. Okay? So the big key to this is getting this set up and getting it equal to X, because that's what we said our total acres is going to be, our total amount of land. Now solving this. And something like this, especially with a lot of fractions, and you're going to have some that have even more fractions than that, I would start by clearing the fractions. So look at your denominators, 3 and 5. What could I multiply by that would clear both of those? 15. So I'm going to multiply the entire equation by 15. So when I multiply here, this is really 15 times 1 divided by 3. So that's going to be 5. 15 times 2 divided by 5 is going to give me 6. Don't forget, you do need to do 15 times 60. Is that 900? I want to check that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then, what do I have over here now? Yeah, you have to remember to multiply that x by the 15 as well. So this is going to be 15x total. That looks like something you can handle, right? So the 5 and the 6 together make 11. So here's 11x plus 900 equals 15x. And then I would take the 11x away from either side. I'm running out of space, but I'm just going to, 15x minus 11x is going to give me 4x with a 900 on the other side. Divide by 4. You should get 225. What does that mean? Yeah, 225 acres total is what the farmer's land amounts to. Okay? So you're going to have a lot of problems like this in the next week or so. They all work this same way. Okay, so please make sure you've got that written down, that you're ready to go on that. Okay,